Greetings, friends. During my absence, and while I was going through some pretty heavy life altering challenges, there were periods where I certainly didn't put my best self forward. There were times where I was in great physical pain from 3 joint replacement surgeries. I had extensive dental restoration and major hair loss, and ongoing white knuckle gripping physioterrorism. And what was happening besides these multiple challenges was after a purpose driven and successful 65-pound weight release, my body changed satisfactorily, but oh my, not so much my face. Plus 5 years of aging, that simply doubled the trouble. There were times when I thought, why bother? I mean, who really cares? Perhaps it doesn't matter. Even if I didn't know better and wasn't well practiced in overcoming, I would have thrown in the towel, filled my storage closet with gin and tonic, settled into a life of not giving a damn, and created a permanent dent in a recliner somewhere. But you know what? That's not me. And I rediscovered that it does matter. The thing is, I'd hit a new life passage. What was left of my hair was now the color of my restored teeth. And thanks to a good surgeon and physioterrorist, I was in much better shape physically. So, after some serious pondering and of course journaling, I decided to join the human race again. However, I didn't recognize that woman staring back at me when I looked in the mirror. And when I tried to make a couple of short videos, oy vey, I won't say it was traumatizing, but it sure as heck wasn't wonderful. My face and hair had changed so much I didn't recognize myself. But keeping true to my self-commitment to get back in the saddle, I started experimenting. I mean, after all, I could do almost anything amazing with makeup and hairstyling, so I just needed to apply the same principles to my own mug, right? Well, I have to tell you, I'm the toughest test I've had in a long time. This kisser really needed some attention from skill, product, tools, and testing new application techniques. And those that know me know I will try just about anything and every way possible before moving on to the next possibility. In fact, I remember one time, I even played with a certain type of scotch tape and elastic bands to create my own form of a facelift, better known in Hollywood circles as years away. And you know what? It worked pretty well, but it was better with the wig, which I wasn't sporting at the time. Anyway, I remember another trying time in my life, when I was also going through the change from youth to middle age. And because I needed to put all my attention to what I was responsible to at the time, I forgot about me and slowly slipped into that place of everything else is more important than I am. And I'm sure many of you can identify. Then suddenly, I found myself back in the business world and had to make some fast and drastic changes. And I did. It took commitment, dedication, and practice. Then all of a sudden one day, I found my new self, my new look, my new attitude. And I rolled with this version of myself for many years and a couple of decades. Once again, though, life has a way of throwing curveballs, but sometimes they were actually divine intervention, just not recognizable at the time. At this point, I had decided to embrace my gray hair, but this time I knew it would take me about 5 years to finally find my groove, and with lots of choices too, so I proceeded and was successful. Now, having overcome some new and heavy-duty challenges I mentioned earlier, this time it was with a definite changed body and face and my platinum-colored hair. It was time to reinvent myself yet again, and that's just what I'm doing now. And then I thought, wait, why not bring you gals along with me instead of waiting till I get it all figured out? Are you game? If so, I'd like to lead off with a mini-series next and then jump into a Back to Basics live stream or video series in the fall. The successful masterclasses we've done on the Facebook pages were well received, and this would be our refresher. And great news, I've discovered that we can do this on YouTube rather than Facebook, and using the unlisted option so it remains private with just the participants or anyone we may want to share the link with. Bonus, YouTube won't be taking it down like Facebook does now. There are still some things to figure out tech-wise, but I'm feeling pretty good about this possible direction. Let me know in the comments what you think, and if you'd like to get started, and then I'll get started planning. Well, that's it for this episode, and we're going to close off with this episode's quote from Dolly Parton. I'm not offended by all the dumb blonde jokes because I know I'm not dumb, and I also know I'm not blonde. Thanks so much, ladies, for joining me where beauty, wellness, and wisdom meet in just the right measure. With warmth and wisdom, Sharon.